Alright guys, what's up? I woke up this morning. Sorry I'm late. I woke up and I thought I'd get on Twitter, and the first thing I read is a tweet with 600,000 likes that said Mike Trout is getting a huge extension. I'm gonna have to sit here and talk about what this means for the future of baseball and what this means, for contracts in general. This is starting to get ridiculous. I'm seeing complaints on my timeline. I'm seeing, hey, what does this mean for Judge? What does this mean for guys like Betts? What does this mean for guys that's coming up in free agency? We're gonna sit here and we're gonna talk about it. Um, this is like, cause first of all, not everyone's as good as Mike Trout. Not everyone's as half as good as Mike Trout, but you're gonna have guys that's putting up huge numbers, right? That's gonna feel like, hey, I could get paid because I'm good. Aaron Judge, look what he's doing right now. He looks like he wants to get paid. Him and the Yankees are talking a contract extension through arbitration years, but if I was him, I'd just test right through free agency. I'd sign that contract extension and just test right through free agency. I wouldn't sign a long-term extension after his Trout extension because, I mean, I would want him to sign a long-term extension as a Yankees fan, but that's just this is just ridiculous. The money that's getting handed out to good players. Every hit he's gotten this spring training has been a extra base hit or a home run. So he looks like a guy that's hitting his peak already in his young years and that wants to get paid. Mookie Betts, I don't even have to explain. He had what, 30 home runs, 30 stolen bases last year. I mean, bottom line is we have other guys that's good. Now, what makes this makes the Phillies look bad in my opinion because they paid a guy who hit 249 and who couldn't hit back up to his MVP season yet in home runs. So it's gonna be interesting to see if Bryce Harper can prove he is worth 330. Because if not, we got some guys here that's gonna be like, hey, you paid this guy 330, pay me 330. You know. Uh, yeah, Bryce Harper could turn out to be a Chris Davis. $330 million Chris Davis. I'm sorry, Phillies fans, but I'm glad I don't have to hear Philly fans talk about Mike Trout the Philly anymore. That was so annoying. Had accounts following me talking about, hey, follow me, follow the Mike Trout the Philly movement. No, I'm not, and no, he's not going to Philly. So you can delete those accounts that you made. You can delete those tweets. It's not never too late. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry to be harsh, but he was never. I just never saw that happening. I kept saying that, like Mike Trout is not going to Philadelphia. People were getting on my nerves. That I was like, just because he's from Philadelphia does not mean it's a lock that he's going to Philadelphia. That's just knowing as Yankees fans when they thought Patrick Corbin was a lock to come to New York. It's like it's not that it's not it doesn't work like that. Can I? Oh my God! Can I explain that in a night? Because like baseball fans just do not understand. And things like this is why I think money goes on trees because in the baseball industry, if you're a big market team, it does. Well, yeah, things worked out how we thought it would. The Angels handed Mike Trout a blank check. How it worked out for a lot of great players. Kershaw, Greinke. Uh, you know, just hand him a blank check and say, we want you long term. Um, Very interesting deal, of course. What makes it funny is he got one less year, I believe, than of course the contract details in the description, but he got 1 year less year than Harper and way more money. Harper wanted to beat out his buddy. Uh, got to be shooting himself in the foot right now. But you know, I'm happy for Mike. He's definitely one of the best players of our generation. It's just I think people get brainwashed by the deception of Mike Trout, because he's not, um, you know, I'm not trying to offend Angels fans, but he's definitely the best baseball player for now, kinda. But is he like? I've seen people. I woke up to people talking about comparing him to McDavid, and other guys in other sports. And that's where I kind of draw the line. Especially since like talking stupid, like kind of like McDavid, saying McDavid is the Trout of the NHL. That makes no sense at all. I guess you could say that because he didn't get to the playoffs, but um, if we're talking about being the best in your sport, everyone knows Sidney Crosby is the best player in the NHL. I cannot stress this enough. We let these things, you know, form our opinion. Just because of how much money you make doesn't mean you're the best in your sport. I'm sorry, but it doesn't. Aaron Rodgers, when he got that big contract extension, that means he's better than Tom Brady because Tom Brady still went to the Super Bowl that year. You know, please do not let things like salary, you know, form your opinion on who's better than who, because then we get the childish stuff. You know, that's just childish stuff. You know, that doesn't mean another player is better than the other. That just means the great player is willing to take pay cuts to win. Um, which in baseball they don't do apparently. uh, yeah, this contract extension is huge. It's huge. I really didn't have any words when I saw it. I just was like, "Holy shit, man! This is a huge money, man." Mike Trout is set for life, man. And the great thing about it for him is he can still test the market at the end of this deal if he's still playing. You know, which he'll most likely still be playing. Um, like the animal he is. I just don't understand why. I understand some fans complaining. I've never seen the Yankees going after Mike Trout with a long-term deal like this, but I see Yankees fans saying, you know, I don't understand why he didn't want to come to the Yankees. Um, I always envision the two sides trying to make it happen because I vision, you know, but this right here shows me Mike Trout doesn't want to win. And I'm just being brutally honest in this video right here. I'm trying to make this, you know, short, but I'm trying to talk about things that I'm seeing on my timeline, things people want to talk about. Like guys like, you know, that want to get paid. I believe Lindor hasn't been paid yet. Or one of the two, Ramirez and Lindor, or one of the two, both, or one. But yeah, this other guy's is talented. Lindor is very talented. So it's just things to keep. This really sets the market for. I mean, this is what players were waiting for. Like I said, Harper and Machado hit the market at the wrong. Imagine if they hit the market after this Trout extension. Then they really be holding out. They'll be holding out till now, till now, till this date. Like 10 days till baseball starts. They'll be holding out. Or my bad, 9. But um, yeah, this Trout extension, man, it just you're gonna see a whole lot. I'm warning you guys, man. Because the baseball market is already terrible. Now I'm seeing people complain there should be a salary cap in baseball. I'm not disagreeing. I like the way the baseball salary cap is right now, but I'm not definitely not disagreeing with you know with that because it's starting to get a little bit ridiculous. Like I'm happy for the guys that's getting their money, but it start at one point. Do you say, hey, this is getting ridiculous because you got guys like Keuchel still in free agency and Kimbrel still in free agency, but Mike Trout is getting $400 million. Um, it's a little, but yeah, this deal shows me Mike Trout kind of doesn't want to win. If the Angels don't build a playoff winning team around Mike Trout in 12 years, that is the most embarrassing thing. I'm happy for Angels fans, but you gotta admit that's the most embarrassing thing in sports history ever. Imagine not building and they got time to do it. They should be a playoff contender. I know the AL is tough, but they should be doing it this season. They got Pujols, Upton. You know, it's like It's like I can't with the Angels, man. It's like they're not even trying. Well, the main thing is people look at it, the hitting. It's the pitching, really. That's the main thing. And some injuries happened, I believe, to them this season. So we'll see how they do. Um, but it's like they're not even trying. Surprised Mike Trout even signed the extension because we know he could have got like 500 million elsewhere. Um, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I know a lot of casual baseball fans were expecting this extension to be like $1 billion, the way people were joking and talking about it. But that just shows you the state of baseball and how crazy it's getting. I remember I've read a quote from back in the day when I capped this video off with that. Babe Ruth's manager, I believe, or something, or Babe Ruth's coach or whatever, or his agent. I don't remember, but he got paid back in his day. He's the highest paid baseball player, and he made $100,000. That back then was the highest you could make, and I forgot who said that, but they said no one's ever gonna make more than Babe Ruth in baseball. Well, again, you're wrong, and I love Babe, but again and again we see it. People making more than Babe Ruth. Wow. Imagine being more wrong and ignorant in a statement. Like in 100 years, no one's gonna get paid more than $100,000. Anyway, I just can't with that statement. Anyways, peace out, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this Mike Trout extension.